Hello, welcome you and Me and OWC. My name is Shane Costa. Today's show is brought to you by OWC Transitional Program. I will be in studio host. Joining me on location at Opportunity Works will be Matthew Scully, who would be interviewing OWC co-founders and executive director Renee Lambert. While at OWC, we will explore gifts of OWC as well as visiting our designing room and wood shop. We would also travel to the quiet corner of Connecticut where we will visit floral and gifts of OWC in Camp Q's horticulture program. Joining me at CVC studio will be founders of OWC and President Bill Polowska. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me here. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you, Bill. Okay, now we have the pleasure of speaking with Bill Polowska, co-founders OWC, now president of OWC. So Bill, what inspired you to start OWC with Renee?
Well, my son was in a special needs program himself, and I had known Renee for quite some time. And I felt that my son, Ryan, was not getting the supports that we thought he should get. So Renee and I came up with a plan that we figured we could do something and offer something a little bit better. So we worked at it for 2 years. Took us that long to get all the paperwork in place and set up with the state, and we moved forward on that.
Okay. And tell us how you select and prepared for your first location.
Well, our first location was at the mill in Willington. Originally, we planned on just being a GSE, or group-supported employment program, and we figured we'd have about 15 to 20 individuals that we would service. The location there worked out fine. We had to put up a couple walls, add a couple bathrooms, and the space was large enough, yet small enough that we could afford it, and it worked for the amount of people that we had at the time.
Okay, Bill. Okay, what kinds of activities were offered at the Wellington site?
At Wellington, Suzanne Audie came on board with us then, and she brought with her a line of homemade jewelry that she used to make and taught our individuals how to do it. We would go out into the community in various places, and we would sell our own line of jewelry. There also we did bottle and can sorting, shredding, and we had a very, very small workshop there where we made birdhouses.
Okay. Why did you change the location, and what was the move like?
Well, our first location had a lease of 2 years, and about 12 months into our first location, we realized that it wasn't going to be big enough. So for a few months, we started looking for a new location. As we looked, more and more individuals were coming and hoping to apply with us, and our programs got larger and larger, and we needed the space. The move wasn't too easy. The location we have now is where we moved to. It's presently 27,000 square feet, of which when we started, we probably had about 15,000 square feet of it, but it was totally run down. Peter Bilaboshki was the owner of the building, and he worked with us very, very closely in order to demo it, rebuild it, and put it into the condition it is today.
So, please tell us how the woodworking program has grown and changed in the past 11 years.
Well, 11 years ago, I was on this show with Renee, and we were making little plastic birdhouses. A friend of mine had a construction company that would put on fences, and he gave us all the cut-off material. So we would cut it to size and glue a top and bottom on it, and that's what we sold for birdhouses. Today, as you can see here, our birdhouses have become much more elaborate. Mm-hmm. We probably make 30 different styles today, and they're quite popular in the area.
Honey is offered for sales in the Gifts of OWC store. Can you tell us what the connection is between honey and OWC?
Yes. Ryan, my son, and I have always had bees for the past 30 some odd years. And when we started OWC, We only had a few individuals then. So they would come with me, help me extract the honey, bottle the honey, cap it, label it. Once that was all done, we would take it out to some of our wholesalers, and they would go with us and drop it off at certain locations. As our program grew, our locations got bigger to the point where the Woodstock Fair gave us a booth in the agricultural building at no charge. We would go there, we've been going there now for the past 8 years, and setting up and selling honey, birdhouses, and products that are made at OWC. And that's pretty much the story of how honey worked with OWC.
What is your biggest joy in being the president of OWC?
I can't say there's just one joy. Probably the fact that we have a tremendous staff that works with all of our individuals, that all seem to work together quite well. The fact that we've grown to the size that we are. The pleasure I get from having the ability to walk through the building at any time of the day and talk to the staff and be greeted by the individuals with a high five or hi Bill or hi Mr. P. I put a great deal of pleasure in having that happen. Thank you.
Okay, what are your dreams for the future of OWC?
Well, there's probably quite a few, but I'd like to see the transition program be expanded into the community more so they have more chances and opportunities to go out and see what's available. I'd like to have more permanent jobs for our people in the GSE department. And quite honestly, I'd love to be able to double in size.
Thank you.
Today, we have the pleasure of speaking with Renee Lambert, the co-founder and executive director of Opportunity Works Connecticut in downtown Vernon. So Renee, can you please tell our audience what OWC's mission is?
I sure can. OWC is a nonprofit agency that supports people with intellectual and physical disabilities in Eastern Connecticut. We're committed to providing the best individualized supports to assist everyone with their vocational or gainful employment opportunities that fit personally with them. We're very person-centered planned. We work together to foster a sense of respect and dignity, which enables our participants to work and live with a quality of life.
All right. When did OWC open and how many individuals were there in the beginning?
We incorporated in 2009. We started taking individuals in May of 2011, and we started with two individuals.
All right. So how has it grown since the opening, and what different programs do you currently offer?
So back then we started with just group and supported employment. That was just GSE. Now we have about 100 individuals that we support, so 12 years later. And we have 6 different program categories that we provide service for under the Department of Developmental Services umbrella.
All right. So who attends OWC and how do they get there?
We take individuals who have supports by the Department of Developmental Services, so they need to have a DDS number. And we take them after they've reached the age of 22, after they're done with their vocational program through school time. And we do provide a little bit of transportation for them to get here. Usually we save that for people who have no transportation in their area, very rural parts of the state. A lot of people come in through ADA, which is a public form of transportation. And then some residential individuals have their homes that bring them in and pick them up.
All right. Can you please describe the different programs that you offer in Vernon?
Sure. In Vernon, we have group supported employment, which is GSE, and that's individuals that come and either work in-house here or in the community in a paid setting, minimum wage, and they're in a group. We have the day service option model, which is DSO, which is for individuals that don't have work as a goal in their plan, and they're looking either for retirement type program or something that's just going to give them life skills, activity of daily living skills, and those types of things. And they also get community engagement by going out on outings and such. We also have a newer program, our Transitional program, That started about a year and a half ago or so. And this is really considered an exposure program, so that individuals who want to work, who may need some extra skills taught to them in order to do that, they can get exposure while doing that training out in the community into jobs that they may never have known were even in existence, and they might find an area that they really like to work in, and then we would work to get them a job in that setting. We also, from here, have staff that go out and support people that are individually, working on their own in the community, or need a little supports for doctor's appointments, those types of things. And we have those programs as well here.
Well done. Right. So you also have 2 other sites. Can you please tell us what those programs offer?
Sure. We have a site in Danielson that we took over from the state, DDS. They were running it prior to us taking it. And that's a therapeutic horticulture center, and it's on the grounds of Camp Quinnebog. We provide DSO model and some GSE model there. We maintain the gardens at that location. And we also do a therapeutic horticulture program for the camp that DDS runs in the summertime. So they also work with that. We also have a florist shop, a fully functioning working floral shop that's in Putnam on the Dempsey Center grounds out there. And that's a fully functioning florist. You can call in to get things. We have stuff you can purchase on site there. And that serves as a GSE site for individuals that want to earn money in that field and have a knack for floral design and such.
All right. How can the public purchase items that your individuals create?
Okay, so we have a store here in Vernon, Gifts of OWC, and they can come here and purchase that way. We are working on an online purchasing system, like an online website. We have a couple items on there. It's not live yet, but we're hoping that will be out in the next couple months, and they'll be able to purchase that way. They can purchase at Floral and Gifts of OWC in Putnam. We have some of our product out there. We also have the floral and the design of floral out there as well. And we have a website that's attached to that for those that want to send flowers outside of the state of Connecticut or outside of our delivery zone, and we would get some of that piece as well.
Okay. How can the public support the florist and horticulture program?
Well, as with any of our programs, we're always interested in taking donations and doing the best that we can do with those. The florist is always seeking vases or pots that would hold certain types of floral gardens that we can reuse. That would save them money. And the horticulture does most of their activities based on what we get in donations. So anything crafty, floral related, outdoor type of garden things, they can take those and do what they need to do with them to make that go further. And we're always willing to take cash as a donation, and you can do that on our website.
All right. What is the pay rate of the individuals who work in the GSE program, and how does OWC raise the funds to pay their salaries and such?
Okay. The philosophy of OWC when we started was that we would have group-supported employment where everyone made minimum wage. That wasn't always the case across Connecticut. There was ways you could pay well below minimum wage to this population, and we didn't feel that that was right at all because everybody here works very hard. So everyone makes minimum wage or more that we employ, and that's been our philosophy from the beginning. And we raise their money by selling the items that they make, as well as these small businesses like the florist, like the cafe, that bring in business income because that money can be used. We're not allowed to use state dollars to pay anybody their salary. So that really comes from those areas, and if we fall short in that, then we would use our fundraising dollars or donations to pay the salaries.
I see. So, what is your biggest joy in being the executive director of OWC?
I have a lot of joys in doing this job. I think my biggest joy is to see the growth that each individual that comes to us has. We get to see the progression of somebody coming, especially those that come from their transition program or from school and are scared and don't know where it's going to go and they don't know if they can do it. And we have really good systems in place and really terrific staff that can help them find that niche and help them grow as a person. So that's definitely warms my heart to have that, and to see people make friends and go out afterwards and hear all the stories of the socialization. That's a nice thing.
Really? So, what are your plans for the future, may I ask?
Well, I plan on staying here at OWC. I think I'm going to stay. You think? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. But I am working on a 5-year plan for OWC. So that will help us move forward and stay relevant with the new systems that DDS wants to see us doing, especially in the employment arena. And so I would look to that to show that we would be trying to gain more jobs for people, increasing maybe our floral footprint, maybe moving some of our floral designs down to this area, streamlining all our processes so that we can better support the individuals we have and move forward to supporting the maximum amount of individuals that we're able to. So really the sky's the limit as long as we plan.
Right. Let's see. Anything else you like to add, or is that all?
I think you did a very good job covering everything.
Thank you. It was a pleasure doing business with you.
You as well.
And cut.
Hello, welcome to Gifts of OWC.
Over here in this display case, we have handmade jewelry designed by the design team here at OWC. Our handmade tic-tac-toe boards that our design team made as well. Here are some of our town signs, along with some of our tile plaques that's also designed from the design group in crafts. Along with the cards, we also take custom-made orders upon request.
Yes, good morning. This is Opportunity Works. They do the craft area. This is the craft area. They do what they're asked to do. Tessa is making strings of beautiful beads to make the bottles of their wind chimes. And they're absolutely beautiful. And Lauren today is going through all sorts of buttons to match them up by colors and sizes. In this department, they do everything they're asked to do. Tessa makes cards and Lauren makes pot holders. You know, whatever they need, they'll delegate somebody to do them. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun in here. They make beautiful items and they all bring them to the store and they sell them in the store. So they earn money by selling things to pay themselves. Not themselves, but that's how they get paid. And they do make minimum wage, so it's a lot of work, and they keep going.
Hi, just talking to you this morning from the OWC wood shop here in Rockville, Connecticut. So what we do here is really it's job training, and these folks are employed. They get paid minimum wage that are here. And today, what you're seeing is some folks actually working on some donated furniture. We'll take you around other parts of the shop here in a minute, but one of our folks right here is just sanding on some stools here that were donated, and then they'll either be sold online or in the store. So that's what we do in the back there. Someone donated, another one of the individuals working, they're actually old fence sections that we have donated. Sounds a little strange, but they sand them down. He knows exactly what we're doing, then repurpose the wood in all kinds of different projects. Okay, now we're in the finish area of the OWC wood shop. So what's hanging here are some finished, there are some bird suet feeders, some, if you will, kind of I'll call them custom birdhouses, where you see the roof might be green or a different color. Those are actually made from the bowling alley gutters, which were in the basement of this building. So we just repurpose everything. So these are actually all those up there are sold. They're already pre-sold, and you may see them at the Woodstock Fair or one of the other fairs this fall. So then straight ahead here you see, folks, this is a cabinet it's at least 200 years old. It spent its life in Mystic, Connecticut, and it needed attention. So the folks here fixed it up. We're going to put a new glass door in the front of it, and it will be for sale online or in the store. If you have any questions about that, or if you would like to make donations of furniture, of wood, of sanding paper, because that's what we like to operate with here, just a low budget. We like to have these folks work and get paid. And so we need, the revenue, and we also need supplies. And we'll pick it up. If you've got something that's too heavy, wooden, whatever, it's in your basement, garage, we'll come and get it. And then behind, you'll see a couple of the folks down there. They're working on that's an old butcher block. So that's going to be a butcher block table. Again, so your next project, you're thinking about something different, or a kitchen island, or a table, or a chair, or Adirondack chairs, which you see against the wall here. It's parts for Adirondack chairs. Over the last couple of years, we sold at least 150 Adirondack chairs.
I'm working on a board, cleaning the paint off, and that's pretty much all I'm doing.
This is our seasonal Christmas tree. My wife, Pat Polowska, started doing this in our first location in Wellington. We had very, very high ceilings, and the first Christmas, we didn't have much floor space, so she said, let's put a tree upside down from the ceiling. So we did. And from that day, we started doing a seasonal tree. When we moved to Vernon, the ceilings were only 10 feet tall, and everybody wanted to know what was going to happen to the tree. So what we did is we got a smaller tree, and now she continues every season decorating it for whatever the season should be.
Welcome to Floral and Gifts of OWC. So we got some orders. We heard the printer go off. We have orders. So they come in, we document it, we log them. But if we go over here, I could show you the orders that so far we've done today that will be going out for delivery. This one here, we're waiting on a box of chocolates. We have to go to the store and get it. This one just came in this morning, also needing a box of chocolates. But we have all kinds of other add-ons that we can send with our floral deliveries for just about every occasion. We even have giant ones above us. If you see the buckets on the floor, we're waiting for flowers to come in that we're going to process. We've got the floral cooler with arrangements made in it for walk-in traffic, as well as plants flowering and green. Novelty items that we can sell for our walk-in traffic. I think that's really kind of pretty much it.
Thanks for visiting with us today. We would like to thank Melody Markle, Training Manager at CVC, for her help and support. We will also like to thank our staff in our transitional program, Mr. Dwight, Miss Conley, Miss Teresa, Brittany, and Chris, for all of their support and dedication. Lastly, I would like to invite the rest of our team behind the scenes that made this broadcast possible by joining me on stage to say goodbye from you and me in OWC.